Hey everybody, what's up? It's me, Codemaster Baconator. I'm back with another video again for Chaotic, and I thought today I would teach you guys how to play the game and all the other important information that you should know when hopping into a battle in Chaotic. So, we're actually going to be using some of my own cards as examples of what to know and how to read certain things. So, we'll get started. I just wanted to put my Screamer proxy out here for you guys so that way you guys have something to look at. But, in the meantime, let's go over the basics. So, we'll start from creatures, then battle gear, then music, then attack, then location. Alright? That's how we're going to do this. So, starting with the creature, we're going to use Kaor the Fierce as the example today. So, how to read certain things is right here. That's their name, and underneath is like their retrained text, or what they're known for. Because, for example, let's say you have Screamer here, and there was like a, I don't know, Screamer the Fierce, right? It would say Screamer the Fierce. Now, that would technically mean that they're the same creature, you know, the two Screamers, just as this Kaor is the same is technically the same card in a weird way, at least the same name as a regular Kaor card. So, and this is actually really good that I got to bring out these two examples, because this allows me to kind of tell you what's up. So, in the very upper left corner of the card is their tribe symbol. Kaor is an underworlder, therefore that's the underworld symbol. And of course that's their name, and of course their retrain versus the standard version, what set they are from, plus their rarity, what exactly they are, their creature, and their little sub thing is Underworld Conqueror Warrior. And of course that's their picture. Let's see who drew this one. It looks like Carrie Randolph and yeah, Carrie Randolph drew both of these pictures. What a wonderful man. And now going from up to down, from left to right, is courage, power, wisdom, and speed, as well as their music counter and their energy. Or music points, depending on who you ask. Some creatures have them, some don't, but they allow you to play music based on whatever they cost and all that. And just as there's abilities right here. So Kaor the Fierce has Fire 10, meaning his fire attacks do an additional 10 damage, whereas this one, on the other hand, the standard Kaor, he could get rid of 3 music counters, he only has 3, to dispel a target overworld music targeting Kaor. So let's say somebody wants to use oh god, what's a good example? Let's say there's a damaging overworlder music. He could use his music, his special ability to counter it, to dispel it or get rid of it. Now, Kaor may not enter mixed armies, and unique, or rather loyal, mean the same thing, meaning he can only be an underworld-themed army. And unique, meaning you can only have one card with that name, Kaor. Not Kaor the Fierce, just Kaor. Because these two are technically have the same name. Alright? So, with that being said, we'll move on forward. We'll just use regular Kaor to have somebody with the music counters, just so we can keep going and have more decent explanation. So, battle gear. We have the Whipcrack as our example. Equipped creature gains 15 power. You add that to your little power modifier right here. So that would mean that Kaor would have 110 power. Now, since it says equipped creature is underworld, it gains fire 5, which he is, based on the symbol right there. And you can also tell based on that little text right there, Underworld Conqueror Warrior. But you only need that underworld part to know that. Gains fire 5. So if you remember with Kaor the Fierce, he has fire 10. Meaning this Kaor would have fire 5. But let's say it was equipped to Kaor the Fierce, he would have fire 15. Alright? And the way that would work is whenever you're playing a game, you would put this card face down, and you would have a creature stack on top. You see? Just like that. So whenever you engage in a battle, let's say Maxor attacks Kaor, Kaor attacks Maxor, You can then flip your battle gear over and then it becomes equipped. Alright? So that's how that goes. And then we have ourselves Mewgik. Now there are all kinds of different levels of Mewgik, but we'll start with some very generic ones. This one is the Cannon of Casualty. Alright? So it has one Mewgik counter indicated by that, meaning it only needs one Mewgik to be played. I'm going to just move the Whip Crack, scoot him over. So that little Mewgik counter tells me, hey, I need one of these. So it would go from 3 to 2, and you would deal 20 damage. So you see how he has 70? That would mean he would have 50 energy, because that would deal 20 damage to Kaor. Alright? Now there are other kinds of Mewgik as well, and they also come in the unique format. Just like Searing Symphony, deal 10 damage for each elemental type it has. Let's say this was used against Kaor. He would lose 10 energy because he only has fire attacks. But if he had fire and earth, for example, it would deal 20 damage. And if he had fire, air, and earth, it would be 30. Water would be 40. Because 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. You see that? Alright. Now you also have yourself some counter Mewgik. Just like Refrain of Denial, for example. Dispel generic or overworld Mewgik. And the way you could tell if it's a specific type of Mewgik is, one, right there, and secondly, the color of the Mewgik counter right here. And they come in all different kinds of spicy flavors. You got red for Underworld, blue for Overworld, brown for Danian, and yellow for Mepedian, black for Marillion, and gray for generic, or tribalist, depending who you ask. And you would use this as like a counter. And of course, that has 1, so you would take that, and it would be 2. Now, there are some that do cost more than 1, such as Song of Revival. Return target underworld creature in your discard pile into play into any open space. It's like a resurrection type situation. Alright, and that costs 2, so that would go from 3 to 1 like a snap. Now, there are some that have some stipulations, such as Improvisational Melody, which has 2 Mewgik counters, making him go from 3 to 1, and it would deal 10 damage to target creature. But if you had dealt at least 20 damage or more during that turn and you want to use this Mewgik, it costs 0, indicated by the 0 in the Mewgik counter. So you wouldn't use Mewgik counters at all. He would still have all his Mewgik counters, and you would have dealt an extra 10 damage for free. Right? Doesn't that sound pretty sweet? Now, next, we're going to go over the attacks, alright? And for this attack, we're using Ember Whip from the unreleased Fire and Stone set. Ooh. So, you can also tell based on the symbol right there. So, going from, of course, top to bottom, we got the name of the attack, obviously. And every card plays by a rule of 2, meaning you can only have a maximum of 2 copies in your deck of a specific card. Now, you're probably wondering what this means. In Yu-Gi-Oh, you would assume, oh, that's a level 2, so it's really weak. Actually, no. What this is a build point cost. Meaning, in your attack deck, you have to have a certain amount of points in your attack deck, and that's what limits you. And severely nerfs a lot of deck strategies, which I think Chaotic is very smart for having this. It's very much balanced, at least in my opinion. And, for example, for a 3-on-3, your build total is going to be 10. Meaning you can only have cards with like these little numbers that add up to 10. And you have to have at least 10 attack cards, right? So, you can also have ones that cost 0. For an example, this card, Evaporize. You see how it has the 0 in the upper left corner right there? That can add to your card total, meaning it can save you a lot of headache and a lot of math later on down the road. And for an example with this, it's a level 2, so you would have 8 more build points if you're doing a 3v3, or you would have 18 points if you're doing a 6-on-6, which means with 6-on-6 you have 20 build points, meaning you need 20 attack cards. Excuse me, I'm going to take a small sip of my ginger ale. So, every attack card has seven things you should look at: the build, the base, the fire, the wind, the earth, and water modifiers, as well as the effect. So going from left to right, that right there, that little number 5 right there, that is your standard basic attack, like what the attack bare minimum is going to do. And this little fireball with the 10, meaning it adds 10 to that 5, making a total of 15 if you have that fire symbol. Now let's go back to the Whipcrack example, alright? Meaning we would have fire 5. That fire 5 will be added to that 10, making it 15, plus that 5 is 20. So 20 damage right off the bat. It's pretty sweet. Now, read the effect. Ember Whip deals an additional 10 damage to the opposing creature as water. Let's say they did, okay? And let's say you're fighting Milline, a Marillion, who typically will have water. So, you would add that 10, plus the 5, 15, plus that other 5, 20, plus that 10 is 30. See how all this stuff adds up? And it could cause some serious damage. Now, last but not least, we're going to be talking about the locations. For this one, we're going to be talking about the lava pond. I'm trying to get it so that way you don't see the code. So, it would have a symbol in the upper corner right there. That means its location. Alright, and you would always play these cards sideways. Now, initiative speed, meaning the card or the creature who has the highest speed, regardless who owns the location, would go first. But let's say you two have the same speed, the person who owns this card would have the first attack. Now, as you can see, there's some examples of certain effects. Fire attacks deal an additional 5 damage. Okay? Damage dealt by air attacks is reduced by 5, and Magmon, who's a creature, gains fire 5. Now, let's use Kaor for an example, and you attack with the Ember Whip, okay? Locations play a serious effect with certain attacks. Kaor has fire attacks. Whipcrack gives him fire 5. Lava Pond gives you an additional fire 5. So, that's fire 10 right there. Plus that 10 is 20, 25, 35. You just added 5 damage to your attack. Sometimes that will make or break a match, depending on who you're fighting. Alright? So with that, that's actually the bare basics of Chaotic. I can't exactly get any more basic than that, to be honest, because that's just the simple rules and the simple anything I could spit out of my mouth for you. So with that being said, guys, that's going to be the video today. That's how you could read and identify Chaotic cards. Not exactly how to play. I'll go over that in a future video. But I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a good day.